People think writing is this magical, mysterious thing that happens to only an anointed few. I'm going to disabuse you of that notion. Writing is a God-given gift, and just because you've been given that gift, you can't let it languish. It must be abused like bread dough. You have to knead it with a K. You must knead it, N-E-E-D. I think Franz Kafka said writing is a form of prayer. You got to sit your ass in that chair and say a prayer. And then when you open your eyes, you have to write. My name is Kathy Y. Wilson. I was born in Hamilton, Ohio, and raised in this bungalow on South 4th Street with a gang of brothers and half-brothers. My mother, Gladine, was a gospel musician and worked during the week for a geriatric doctor in downtown Hamilton. My father, Clarence, worked first at Armco Steel in a coal furnace and later as a locksmith and a custodian for Procter & Gamble. It was from this landscape that I developed a thirsty mind and a lifelong love affair with books and libraries. My journey as a writer began somewhere between my girlhood home of 513 South 4th Street, which is a few blocks that way, and this very room. So somewhere between listening to grown folks talking and reading all the crap that was around our house that was probably a dated set of World Book encyclopedias and Ebony and Jet magazines and any children's books that were passed down to me from my brothers and my older half-brothers, to just starting to write down anything. I would write down things that people were saying. I would hand copy passages from books or magazines. If my mother was cooking and she was talking on the phone to my grandmother about a recipe, I would write down celery, carrots, chicken. Physically, I liked how writing felt for me. I always liked to hold a pencil and see my hand go across the page, and I like the solitude of it and the self-reflection. During my childhood, Lane Library was for me a refuge. It was awe-inspiring because it is a gorgeous building. You know, it was really like coming from home to another home. And we had great respect for this building. We never came in here and misbehaved, ran around, pulled things off, threw them on the floor, walked on the furniture. We were reverential. It was like church. Lane Library was like church. So the library was this conduit for me. It was like a tunnel to a magic thing that became attainable. In about 1977, my disjointed family landed in Forest Park, a suburb of Cincinnati. I went to Green Hills High School, one of about fewer than 50 black students who were bused in from Forest Park as part of a desegregation settlement. In high school, I discovered my writing skills through teachers like Kathleen Arnold and Miss Schmaltz and Mrs. Roberts, and my history teacher, Mr. Glass, who first recognized that I had dyslexia. After graduation, I tried college 3 times, but I didn't fit, and I struggled mightily. In 1989, I once again found solace at a library. For 5 years, I worked at the main branch of the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County in the literature department. It helped me organize my thoughts, because that's part of being dyslexic, is thinking in a jumbled way, seeing information in a jumbled way. So it helped me settle down and learn to organize, and it helped me investigate. I was taught how to research at the library. The library made me feel so much less out of sync. I was this weird young woman I felt very much like an outcast and an outlier, definitely a nerd, had already grappled with dyslexia and was coming to grips with the fact that I had obsessive compulsive disorder. So being in a building that was full of stuff that was organized, get out of here. What? I was so happy, and I was so happy to help organize things. I just felt I was walking into myself and being here at the library. I just, oh, okay, this is who Kathy Y. Wilson is, a nerd, a book nerd, obsessively compulsive, organized, a thinker, a reader, not afraid to be exposed to different kinds of people and different kinds of information. This is manna. This is manna for a thirsty mind. It really, really is. Part-time library assistant by night and writer by late night. My journey continued when I was hired as a reporter at my hometown newspaper, the Hamilton Journal-News. I didn't know it at the time, but 5 years of mundane deadline work, reading quickly, and comprehending complex ideas just to turn them into short news stories bolstered my skills as a writer. In 1999, I took a vow of poverty and decided to become a professional freelance writer. My career as a freelance writer actually began all those nights ago between 1989 and 1994 behind the literature desk when I got a gig writing for a little magazine called Cincinnati Black Book. Then I landed a steady column in Cincinnati City Beat. Later, I started writing these massive profiles for Cincinnati Magazine. I've published a book. That book's become a one-woman stage play. I've been a contributor to National Public Radio's All Things Considered. And today, thank God for the economic freedom bestowed on me as the first ever writer in residence of the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County, I get the freedom to stretch out and write my next book. Do you know who I think I am? Curiosities of a Colored Woman's America. Everybody, thanks for coming. The first session, I believe, is poetry with Pauletta Hansel, who is here in Rip-Roaring and ready to go. A public library should have a writer in residence. It seems like an organic extension of what a library represents to the community, which is the written word, preservation of the written word, access to the written word in all its forms. So it makes sense to me that the library should want to sponsor a writer in residence, somebody who is equally as committed to preserving the written word and literacy and literature, and then adding back to the canon of literature. Hopefully, though, some young person, and I hope that it's a young woman, under the sound of my voice, will have seen that even if she doesn't want to be a writer, but damn it, she can be whatever she wants. So I hope that I'm representing authenticity for young people, that the path from here to here isn't so obtuse for them. That's what I really, if I want to accomplish anything, I feel like that's what I want to accomplish. And two, also, you can't get through life without reading. It's all from reading. I have transported myself to other times and places, and I have embodied other people from reading. What a gift. What a gift. I thank God for it.